Ladies and gentlemen, this is the IBF Asian Oceania Lightweight Championship, fought out of a 10 by 3 minute rounds with a weight of 65.5 kilos. Fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 61 kilo on the dot, 172 centimeters in height, 29 years of age, from Thailand. He's trained there at Saigon Boxing with a fight record of 14 fights, 11 wins, 3 losses, 6 wins by way of KO. Ladies and gents, please welcome Attavut Maliwan in black and gold. His opponent in this super lightweight IBF Asian Championship, weighed in at 63.2 kilos, 175 centimeters in height, 22 years of age. He comes from Turkey but fighting out of Dubai in the Arab Emirates. He's got a fight record of 12 fights, 12 wins, 6 wins by way of KO. He is the UBO Continental Champion, the WBC Asian Continental Champion, the Super Lightweight ABF Super Lightweight Champion, the WBC Asian and Silver Lightweight Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, from Turkey, Ege Arink Konuk. Your supervisor for this international boxing event is Mr. Yasukoshi from Japan. Your referee, Mr. Surat Soikra Chang. Your judges, Mr. Sanong Omin, Mr. Cherdashi Riak, Mr. Kreinbach Thongbach. Your timekeeper, Mr. Pakapon Songmani. Ladies and gentlemen, your Ladies and gentlemen, this is fight time.
Okay, folks, thank you for joining us once again after that short break and, of course, a great performance. We have an IBF Asia Super Lightweight title fight with Turkey taking on Thailand. We have Ege Arink Konuk in the red and blue shorts taking on Thailand. Attavut Maliwan in the black shorts with the gold trim. The Ege with an impressive 12 wins, 0 defeats, and Attavut with 11 wins and only 3 losses. So on paper, these two gentlemen look very similar. And here we are, round number 1. Ege definitely very comfortable in this ring. He has fought many of his fights in this exact arena before. He knows every part of this ring. He knows all the strong points, the weak points. He knows every part of it. And let's see if the home advantage, although he's from Turkey, he is at the home advantage here at FCC. So both fighters holding the center of the ring. You can see it is a southpaw against a southpaw at the moment. A very exciting situation when you've got two very good southpaw fighters going off for a title fight. Very determined, a great jab there. And that's the thing with Ege, of course, like his brother as well, Efe. They're very determined. They're very, very calculated. They only throw shots when they are pretty much sure it's going to land clean. They do not exert energy. They do not need to exert. They make sure everything they're doing is methodical and calculated. Jab with the right hand there, followed up by Attavut with a nice left hook to the body. So Attavut really digging down to the body. Nice clubbing right hand upstairs as well by Attavut. A calm, interesting round for both of these fighters. Both teeing off on each other with very big shots. Still trying to find their rhythm. They've definitely found their range. They've found the targets. Now they've got to put those punches together. They've got to have a good punch selection. As soon as you find your range, you've now got to utilize it. You've got to decide what you want to do next with the range. Great left hook to the body there, landed by Efe, but Attavut returns with one of his own. Ege just keeps flicking that jab out, constantly keeping Attavut guessing, not allowing him to really get a rhythm going. And that's the great thing about Ege. He just keeps that jab in your face. He hits your guard, he hits your arms, but he's constantly using that jab to keep you at bay. Nice 1-2 there, landed by Attavut. And a very high skill fight going on right now between these two fighters. An uppercut and a miss, swing and a miss there. Ege starting to come alive with some big combinations there. Left hook for left hook. Both fighters get hit clean, but a right hook to the right hook upstairs, landed by Ege. What a fight we're seeing so far. Both fighters calculating everything they're doing. It's a very aggressive chess match what we're watching right now. Chess boxing at its finest. Nice 1-2 landed there by Ege as well. Very stiff jab followed up by that left hand there. Final moments of round number 1. And I think just taking some time to get a breather at the end of that round. Both fighters now go back to their corners. So we see some of these action replays here. That was a big swinging moment for Attavut, which didn't hit clean. He almost hit himself with the uppercut, but this is where Ege just got underneath the shot. And you notice with Ege, if he makes you miss, he's always going to make you pay. He doesn't dodge shots for the sake of dodging it. He sees the shot that you've missed, and he's now utilizing that situation. He knows you're off balance, he knows you're open, and he takes the opportunities there. Great round for both of these fighters, but I've got to give that one to Ege for the pressure and the harder punches landed. And that is the bell. 4 seconds out. We're going into a second round. So we have Turkey taking on Thailand. Ege in the red and blue trunks taking on Thailand's Attavut in the black and gold trunks for this IBF Asia Super Lightweight title fight. Both fighters exchanging jabs in the center of the ring. And you notice as well with the power for both of these fighters, they keep changing their tempo. Every shot they're throwing is at a different tempo, which doesn't allow your opponent to know which shot is going to be the hard shot, which shot is the rangefinder. They're mixing it up. High level boxing going on right now. Nice 1-2 there by Ege, just teeing off with those left hooks upstairs. So Ege definitely found that great combination, that jab to the left hook upstairs, and he almost clubs him with it just on the ear line. Ege steps back from that one, jabs right through as well. Jab, there it is. That's the exact combination we were just talking about. He lands that jab, and as soon as he lands that jab, he steps in and lands the hook upstairs as well. Lots of movement here by Attavut. And you can see Attavut uses a lot of movement on the outside, but steps in and then starts throwing his combinations, and he really swings wild with these shots. And I think someone like Ege is just too smart to really get hit clean by some of these shots. He's too tight, and he's just too calculated. You see there, beautiful evasion by Ege, leaning back away from the shots. That is a sign of a man who knows exactly where the punches are coming from. And you also notice with Ege, he keeps his guard just above the chin. He doesn't have it blocking his entire face like a lot of new boxers would. He's so confident that he knows he can get out of the way of the shots. He's protecting the sweet spot, which is the chin, and he only holds a very high guard when he's stepping back or he knows he's up against a big flurry. Just absolute beautiful boxing here by Ege Konuk. Jab with a double left hook upstairs. And you can see now he's starting to slip. He's starting to slip to his left. It's a good sign that he's trying to load up that left hand. He's going to the body now. Great combinations there landed by Ege. They're smiling each other in the ring. And once two fighters smile each other, it's kind of a sign of, all right, you got me on that one. Great left hook downstairs there landed by Attavut. Swing and a miss for both of these fighters. Ege gets on the end of that shot with a nice right hook. Doubling the jab with a left hand upstairs. Attavut returns with a big swinging missile upstairs as well. So you can see the punch selection for both of these fighters. Very different. Ege really going for the straight shots, and you can see Attavut going for the big swinging shots. But you know, the quickest way to a point is in a straight line, which is to me why Ege is going to win these exchanges every time. Going down the middle is always going to hit faster than that hook. You can see some of these combinations being landed. That was that jab to the body shot, step back as well. So look what he's doing here. Ege holds his chin forward, almost pulls his entire body forward, baits his opponent to throw a punch, and he knows the shot's coming, and that's when he leans back and then throws the counter punch. He knows once his opponent commits to that counter, he can re-counter it as well. It's absolute, some of the highest level boxing that you'll see. He's almost baiting the baiter. So he wants his opponent to try and counter punch him, and then he turns that counter punch into his own counter punch. You would see this very, very often with people like Floyd Mayweather. He would lean forward, and he knew his speed was good enough to get out of the way of damage. Great stuff.
Round 3.
Round 3 for this IBF Asia super lightweight title fight. So we have Ege taking on Attavut. Ege in the red, Attavut in the black. And I think the first 2 rounds you've got to give to Ege here. Very active, but very calculated as well. So it's calculated aggression. He isn't just trying to wait for the counter punches. He's forcing the counter punches from his opponent, which is exactly how you do it. If it's a counter puncher against a counter puncher, you have to force him into it. Great right hook. Upstairs, great body work. Attavut swings right back as well. So Attavut doing what he needs to do. He's swinging right back. He's not allowing himself to get bullied here. But Ege, to me, is just landing these clean, crisp punches upstairs. Doubling the jab up right now is Ege. Steps in with a double jab with the left hand. Does not hit the target for Attavut. Charges in once again. Ege reads it well. Steps back, but now marches forward. Goes to the body. And it almost looks like he's trying to set up that combination he landed in the first round. Hook to the head, and then hard to the body. The Mickey Ward special, as we like to call it. Tap him upstairs and hit him hard downstairs. Both fighters now exchanging heavy lever in the center of the ring. Halfway through round number 3 already. Both fighters holding center ring, just going to town with these big combinations. Double jab again with a clubbing left hand, the sweeping left hook. And as we said before, it's the insurance hook. If it doesn't land clean with a fist, it tends to land with the palm or the wrist or the forearm. So even if you miss it, some part of it will land. Both fighters in the clinch. The referee quickly breaks them apart. So here we are, folks. Thank you for joining us so far for this IBF Asia super lightweight title fight, where we do have Turkey taking on Thailand. And to me, Efe is just edging these rounds so much more. I think Attavut's doing a great job, and I think he's got a lot of skills that would have put a lot of people away already. But you're up against someone like Ege, who is very, very calculated. And he's very aware of his surroundings. He knows this ring very well. He's fought in this ring several times. He's won belts in this ring several times. So although he's fighting in Thailand, which should be Attavut's home advantage, I do believe the home advantage here goes to Ege. And now Ege has got his opponent on the ropes. What's he going to do with it is the interesting thing. You've got your opponent where you want him. Are you going to do anything with it? Great punches by both fighters. Attavut trying to counter with the hook upstairs. Ege really coming alive with these shots to the body as well. It's going to start wearing on his opponent for the later rounds. And that is the end of round number 3. Here we are, these action replays. So great left hook landed there by Attavut. You see, he gets underneath the shot and he swings his hook, but Ege is just always one step ahead. I think 1 or 2 shots might get through for Attavut, but it's just not enough to be winning these rounds. I think Ege is just winning these rounds perfectly. He knows exactly what he needs to land and when he needs to land them. And that is the bell. 4 seconds out. We're going into a next round.
Round 4.
Round number 4, nearly halfway through this fight already. Turkey taking on Thailand for an IBF Asia Super Lightweight title fight. Great jab through the middle there, landed by Ege. Ege now starting to double those jabs up. Jabs downstairs, left and a right to the body as well. So you can see Ege is just trying to break the guard now. Keeps flicking that jab out. Solid jabs and then light jabs and a great left hand down the body. So you can see Ege is doing everything he can to really break the guard. But Attavut doing a great job, very defensive orientated. He's making sure that he isn't giving up any free shots here. And that's exactly what he needs to do. If you're up against a fighter who is probably more skillful than you, you have to take some gambles. You have to do something crazy or spectacular or turn the fight into a dogfight. The best way to beat a slick boxer is smothering them. Great left hook to the right hook upstairs by Ege. And it almost looks like Attavut gave him that one for free. Jab downstairs followed up by the left hook upstairs. Both fighters exchanging big 1-2s in the pocket so far. Both fighters now coming alive to the body. Attavut slapping his head saying he wants more. But he has taken a lot of shots. He doesn't need to be hitting himself any more than this. But he's starting to fire some big shots. And now Ege is telling him to come forward. And this is exactly what you want in boxing. Exactly what you want in a title fight. You want fighters to lay it on the line and entertain the crowd whilst winning the fight as well. Exactly what you want. Big left hand upstairs landed there by Ege. And that one might have got through. Attavut still returning back with these hooks. So this is the interesting thing. Even when Ege backs him up against the ropes, he's got to be very careful of Attavut's big hooks upstairs. Final minute of round number 4. Nice shot to the body there, landed by Ege. And a great 1-2 landed as well. A very tough fight for both of these fighters. Ege, to me, still winning this fight 70-30, but it's just Attavut always doing just enough, but great shots to the body. And I think he's waiting for his opponent to do something. And this is that classic thing. Ege does not take the bait. He does not play into the antics, and that is smart boxing. Whilst Attavut is moving his head, you can see Ege goes to the body sometimes. Not in that situation. Final moment of that round. Great sportsmanship between these two warriors, putting on a great show for the fans watching here live and at home as well. So you see, this is the final moment of that round. Usually Ege goes to the body, but I think he just thought, I'm going to take my chances here. It's the final 10 seconds. Can I hit him to the head? Don't go anywhere, folks. We've still got 5 more rounds to go. And that is the bell for round number 5. So halfway through this round already. Sorry, halfway through this fight already. The IBF Asia Super Lightweight title fight. 10 rounds. Both fighters holding central ring. And it's just that moment. Who engages first? And that's when the fight starts going. Great hooks upstairs landed by Attavut. Both of these fighters have felt the power of each other. They felt the speed. They know what they're up against. They know the range. Now it's a time to see who can apply the best strategy and game plan. You download the information early on, get as much information as you can, and then you upload it, and then see what you can do with that information. And that's exactly what we need to see right now. Jab for jab action in the center of the ring. Ege just teeing off with that jab, followed up by that left hand. Attavut fires huge hooks upstairs. Ege wears it well. And you can see the crowd loving this one so far as well. Double jab with the left hand. Attavut, I think, landed his first straight punch upstairs as well. And this is the interesting thing. We've got straight shots against the hooker. Both fighters exchanging big hooks in the center of the ring. Jabbing upstairs is Ege. Swings and a miss for Attavut. Ege is starting to come alive right now. But I think Attavut is very confident in his head movement so far. I think he believes he can get out of the way of these shots of Ege. All Ege has to do is start changing his combinations to the body. And there we see it. Slapping left hook to the body already. And Ege is starting to take the gas tank away from Attavut. As soon as the energy goes from Attavut, he won't have anything left to throw these big hooks upstairs. Great body work, great combination. Nearly hits the uppercut upstairs as well. Waiting and baiting right now for Ege. He waits for the right moment. Attavut attempts a big shot upstairs, back downstairs. Swing and a miss upstairs by Ege. Final moments of round number 5. And you can see both fighters still hesitant to engage in round number 5. But once they get going, they get going. Great action so far on the back of the ropes. Great right hook landed upstairs by Ege. And Ege just so calculated, trying to find the target well. Hits him with a big left hook. Attavut still returning with big shots. And it's almost like both fighters agreeing to take a break in between these flurries. They know what they're both capable of. They know what they need to do. And Ege waits that round out. And here we see that moment where great head movement by Attavut, but also great hand placement by Ege as well. It was a mixture of the two. Both fighters had their moments in that round. But also, Ege is the only one landing these good, clean shots and combinations. We saw Attavut really land a good left hand down the pipe, but it's just not enough to win these fights. Back into the action we go. IBF Asia Super Lightweight title on the line. Turkey takes on Thailand. So Ege in the red, Attavut in the black. Turkey taking on Thailand here. Great jab to start the action here by Ege. The fighter is very hesitant to find that jab, but as soon as one lands, you can guarantee they're going to start firing. So both fighters exchanging jabs already. Neither fighter landing that clean shot just yet. But as soon as we see it, oh, great left hook downstairs landed by Ege. And the body work of Ege so far has been absolutely brilliant in this fight. And here we see it. Both fighters starting to come alive once again. I'm not sure what they were hugging about there, but great sportsmanship throughout this entire fight. Two fighters trying to knock each other's block off, but still being respectful to each other. Beautiful boxing as well. Exactly what you would like to see, especially in a title fight. Exciting fights, but also good sportsmanship. And right now, I do just feel that Ege has got the game plan and the strategy, but he eats a right hook in the process. So Attavut relying on his equalizing hook power. And I think that's all he can really do in a situation like this. He isn't going to outbox Ege. Ege is definitely a better boxer, but Attavut has some very interesting hooks. And if he can catch Ege off guard, that's what could be the decider in this fight. But I think we've definitely got a boxer against a puncher right now, and Attavut still trying to find his target with some of these big looping hooks upstairs and downstairs. Left hook to the body lands clean there by Ege. And these shots are just slapping, and you can hear it around the ring. Left hook for left hook upstairs. Ege trying to jab his way through right now. Big clubbing left hand upstairs. The action slightly slowing down in this 6th round, but Ege is still very determined to find this target, find the openings that he needs. Great uppercuts getting through there. Good head movement as well. You've got to give credit to Attavut. He's willing to stand in the middle of someone like Ege and still duck underneath these shots. Beautiful stuff so far for both of these fighters. An interesting matchup, great matchmaking. Two styles that definitely complement each other very, very well. How can they work out each other's puzzle? I think Ege knows what he needs to do, but I think Ege knows he could win this fight just boxing the way he is right now. He doesn't need to do anything spectacular. And that is the end of the round. We're going to go into the next round very, very soon, folks. The action replays here. You see the flurry going to the body, going to the head. And that was the Attavut situation where he just kept ducking and diving, getting out of the way of any damaging shot. A risky maneuver to do against someone like Ege. So the IBF Asia Super Lightweight title on the line. Turkey takes on Thailand. Ege in the red, Attavut in the black. Thank you everyone for joining us here. If you're sitting at home enjoying the stream, thank you for being here. Let us know in the comments where you are watching from. And everyone here watching live, thank you for being with us as well. The first event of 2025 for the FCC Fight Club Championship. They put on events every 3 months. You can watch it live. You can come here and watch it. Get yourself a ticket. But right now, we're watching Ege Arink Konuk just starting to tee off on Attavut Maliwan. And even getting underneath some of these shots. It's just missing him by inches, but it's also calculated. He knows exactly what he needs to do. He's not exerting any extra energy to avoid some of these shots, but Attavut starting to be more active in this round. This is the most we've seen Attavut actually come forward, and I think this is all Attavut can really do in a fight like this. Attavut, like I said, isn't going to outbox Ege, but what he can do is he can really take the fight to him. He can turn it into a dog fight and really just see who wants to quit first, but I think that's the only chance he's got. But you can even see with Ege, he doesn't take the bait. He doesn't take situations he doesn't need to. Great body shots. Attavut returns with big shots, but they're hitting the arms and the gloves of Ege. Boxing at its finest so far. Great title fight. Two great fighters putting on an absolute display of beautiful chest boxing right now. Great uppercuts being landed. Attavut almost looks like he got knocked back by some of these uppercuts. Is he playing possum ever so slightly? Is he dipping his head down because he's hurt? Or is he trying to bait Ege in? We're going to find out in just a moment. Some of these shots, the referee's definitely looking closely at this. I like to see Ege just go to the body in a situation like this. Why go for a head that's moving when you can hit the body? And the referee kind of brings him away from the ropes a little bit. And I feel like Ege had him exactly where he wanted him. He had him hurt. He had him tired. I feel like if Ege just stepped down and just really started digging those hooks to the body instead of the head. He may have actually got a stoppage there. The referee was looking at it very, very closely. We're seeing it right now as well. Attavut trying to hold on, starting to fall backwards rather than using footwork. A very telltale sign of someone who's very, very hurt. Good body shots getting through. And you can see Ege just teeing off, but still very careful not to get hit by any of the hooks by Attavut. But Attavut not returning with any shots of his own. Final moments of round number 7. And that is the end of round number 7. I think that was the closest we saw with this fight being stopped. Attavut started the round incredibly strong on the front foot, pushing Ege back. But as we thought, Ege always finds a way to get you to fight the way he wants to. There was that moment where I think if he just went to the body, he may have had a successful stoppage.
Blood never gets old. Crowd roaring loud, feel the energy buzz. Body to body in a world where pain's a must. Fist to the face, taking no shame. Here's the rule in the champion's game. Gloves up, hearts pounding strong. Champion spirit keeps pushing on.
And here we are. Who thought it would go this far? Two great boxers in that ring for this IBF Asia super lightweight title fight. Ege Arink Konuk from Turkey in the red. Attavut Maliwan from Thailand in the black. And to me, Ege has won pretty much every round we've seen so far. Round number 8, I mean, you've got to understand, is Attavut trying to do something for the later rounds? But I feel like in that last round, he was so close to losing. He took a huge haymaker from Ege and then fell back into the ropes. But this is how we see it usually. Attavut tends to revive himself in between rounds, has some energy for the opening moments. The crowd is starting to cheer. It's a mixed crowd of who they want to win so far. Both fighters just calculated with their shots, not taking the bait of the audience, not allowing the audience to push them on.
Don't be shy.
Great left hand upstairs landed there by Ege. Mouthpiece goes flying out. Back into the action they go. Mouthpiece goes missing. Gives them a chance to have a little bit of a breather as well, which is sometimes better for the action of boxing. Both fighters starting to go. The crowd are absolutely loving it, and why wouldn't they? These two boxers are laying everything on the line. You can tell both fighters want to win this title. But is Attavut doing enough to win these rounds? Is he trying to put down Ege Konuk? And I think he's going to struggle to do that. Ege is one of those fighters who tries to do everything he can to avoid making any mistake. And that is the power of boxing, is who makes the most mistakes and who capitalizes on the mistakes that their opponents are making. Great jab upstairs landed by Ege. Doubling the jab right now. Swing and a miss upstairs. Final moments of round number 8. Ege starting to hunt his opponent down, starting to come forward. And you can see he's doing everything he can to try and open this Attavut up. But Attavut still doesn't give him an easy target. He stands in front of him, but he keeps moving his head. But his body is definitely there. And you can see all of these shots coming through. Both fighters putting it on the line once again. Absolute slugfest for both of these fighters. Neither fighter want to give up. Neither fighter want to lay down. They're just giving it everything they possibly got. and a stalemate for both of these fighters. It's a sign of respect between these fighters as well. They know that they're going into the next round. They want to have full energy for that next round. Here we see those action replays. It was that moment in the corner where Ege just started digging down, giving it everything he's got to stop this fight. Round 9 for the IBF Asian Super Lightweight title fight. Ege in the red, Attavut in the black. Thank you for joining us here for this New Year special for FCC, the first fight of the year. Both fighters staying in shape over the holiday period, one of the hardest things to do for boxers. But a happy new year to everyone, and thank you everyone for joining us so far. 2 more rounds, but we still have 4 more fights after this one, where we'll have 3 more title fights as well. The referee giving him a warning to keep his head up, but that is definitely the style of Attavut. He tends to put his head very, very low and make it very difficult for his opponent to hit him. You know, Pernell Whitaker used to do this all the time. He used to get so low below the waist of his opponent, which just made it so awkward for him to even punch down. The crowd are coming alive now, and a great uppercut. And the referee is waving it off, and the fight is over. And I think this is a great stoppage by the referee. I think this is a stoppage that a lot of people will not understand, but I think this is a great stoppage. Attavut was not winning any round. There was no round where you could say he was winning clearly. Every round, Ege was teeing off on him. Every round was almost like an 80-20 round. You've got to see it from the point of view of what is Attavut going to do differently in the later rounds. He had 2 more rounds to win. Is he really going to knock out Ege Konuk?
In 1 minute, 12
Probably
seconds
not.
of round 9 by TKO. Ladies and gentlemen, please a big hand for the IBF Asian Super Lightweight Champion, Ege Arink Konuk!
Great victory for this young man. He always steps in there. He always puts on a good performance. And a well-deserved victory. And again, great stoppage by the referee.
The supervisor of IBF to present the belt.
It's one of those stoppages where you've got to understand the sport of boxing to realize that Attavut wasn't doing anything to win the fight. And the referee needed an opportunity to really stop it. He couldn't. There's even fights where there's been no knockdowns before, and the referee just stopped it because he realized no one's going to be able to win here. Great stoppage by the ref. Great win by Ege Konuk. Excited to see him again. But don't go anywhere, folks. We have 4 more fights and 3 title fights.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big hand for his opponent. He's Attavut Maliwan, who put up a great slugfest, folks. Edgy, don't go away. I think that fits you better.
Screams echo in this brutal den. Warriors clash time and again. One more round, can you stand tall? Or will you stumble, will you?
Edgy, another belt to add to a lot of that you're already amassing. That's now 13 fights for 13 wins.
I feel great. It was an amazing fight for me. He's a great warrior. I respect him a lot. Amazing fight and great experience for me.
I thought it was going to go the going way there. Why? Because he put on quite a slugfest with you there on a few rounds there. It went neck and neck for a while.
Yeah, like I said, it's a great fight for me and it's great experience.
Well, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see your twin brother here in the next fight, so people don't get confused on who's Ege and who's Ege.
Everyone watch my brother. He's great warrior. He's better than me.
We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, once more, a big hand, please, for the new IBF Asian Super Lightweight Champion, Ege Arink Konuk.